In all the talk recently about our upcoming election, one of the things I really haven't focused on is the sovereignty of our nation. Is this something anyone even cares about anymore? Growing up during the 60s and the 70s, self-determination and sovereignty were buzzwords that I heard all the time. I had no real understanding of what they meant, but I heard the other kids at the American Indian Center speaking of it fervently. They spoke of Alcatraz, they spoke of Wounded Knee, they spoke of AIM. They talked about many things that I didn't understand, but I never heard any of them speak of the Ho-Chunk reclaiming their sovereignty. Maybe that's because we were Winnebago back then, or I was just too young and missed it. Now, we are Ho-Chunk, and Ho-Chunk sovereignty is a tough sell nowadays. I've been thinking about this for a while now, and I'm still not sure what that means. It seems important, though. Maybe people are discussing this, and once again, I missed the conversation. One of the things that binds us as a people, one of the things that make us a distinct nation, is our language, the Ho-Chunk language. Now, according to definitions being offered, our language is moribund. One definition is a language that will almost certainly become extinct in the near future because no children speak it as their first language. Now, with present leadership, we will never be a great nation. Nothing wrong with that. I guess some people, like some nations, just don't have the capacity or the drive to achieve greatness. At one point in our history, we had that capacity. We had that drive. We were on the precipice, destined for greatness. But incompetence and mediocrity rose like the sun, and we capitulated. I guess the effort was just too damn hard. Now, I was thinking, maybe our nation is tied to our language, and we didn't even realize it. Well, someone did. I'm going to butcher this, but I don't care. Ho-Chunk wheat ada hogoy raja, she jagi money honey wida sherech shane. Once our language is lost, our world will come to an end. Nothing wrong with this. Everything has a lifespan. Everything has its time in the sun. It does seem sad, though. On January 19th, 1963, our modern nation was born. Sure, we had few Ho-Chunks participate in its creation. The traditionalists were opposed. The NAC people were scattered and hidden. Some of our people were spread through the Midwest, because of the federal government's removal policies. We didn't even have any land of our own at that time. Someone donated the land for us to start. Despite all that, we persevered. We established the Wisconsin Winnebago Business Committee and attempted to establish our sovereignty as a nation. We have a language department that is working hard to produce speakers, that is working hard to perpetuate our language. They are using modern technologies to engage those of us who can't speak or live too far away to practice with our eminent speakers or language teachers. But once again, the onus falls upon us, the individual members, to learn our language. I bring sovereignty and language up because I feel they go hand in hand. Back when our government first got started, everybody spoke Ho-Chunk. Everybody thought first in Ho-Chunk. That's not the case anymore. Sure, we were petty and short-sighted even back when we first got started. But we had a goal. We knew where we were going. We knew who we are and who our family was. Our legislative leadership today is still petty and short-sighted. And that's fine. Here's the difference. Back then, our leaders had proven themselves in their day-to-day lives. They had skin in the game. Their relatives relied on them to provide for their families. Their relatives, their people. We were a new nation. They had to produce results to keep us on the map. Our legislative leadership today, on the other hand, is terrified of relinquishing any power, of losing their temporary sense of importance. Our legislative leadership has no overarching goal for the nation, and it shows. Sovereignty equals our culture, our language, our land. It means us being financially responsible for our elders and our children. It means being responsible for our sick, both physically and spiritually. It also means we stop screwing each other over petty slights. It means we stop trying to financially ruin each other just because we can. It means you sharpen your argument instead of raising your voice. I'm under no illusion that this will ever stop. So I'll just stop asking. I got a text a while back from a relative who said they stopped listening to the podcast because I was getting too preachy. We want facts. We want figures. We want educated and entertaining guests with real ideas. And we want someone who can really ask good questions too, they said. I really didn't think I preached, but I will take the advice in the spirit in which it was given. We have an election coming up. Vet your candidates thoroughly and vote for the candidate you think has integrity, knowledge, and drive. Vote for candidates who will work for the Ho Chunk people and not the Ho Chunk legislature. It's incumbent upon us to remember who we were and who we are. Remember our language. Remember that we are a sovereign nation and not dependent upon the larger society around us for our identity. Like so many other hardships we have endured, these too will pass, or we will. Hanach pinara jiwina, jige hanichawigi, hira kikara un wi unje.